Bonjour, comment ça va? Beautiful day here at Bonsong. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Yesterday we worked, we made the galantine, right? The galantine, once again, I think now you kind of understand. In the beginning, it was really pork chop. You really couldn't understand what was happening. Now that it's done, you're going to see what's happening, right? We took the chicken, we cut the chicken, we took the skin off very carefully, took the leg meat and some pork and basically made a sausage out of it. And then we added the panada, and panada is a thickening agent. Now there's many types of panadas. This is just one form of panada. I took the panada, I mixed it up, I cooked a little of it to make sure it was nice and firm. That's so that gives the sausage some body, B-O-D-Y. It's actually a very important step. You can change the recipe up and down depending how you want to do it, but you kind of want this kind of firm because this is basically an appetizer and it's not really an entree, so you're going to be cutting small thin pieces of it. Not thin, but not that thick or so. So you want it to stay together. If it's too soft, it'll fall apart. So we added the panada. We had the chicken breast, the da casa, soaking, marinating in the sherry. The garnish was black olives, parsley, and obviously the chicken breast. Rolled it up, poached it. Let me show it to you. All right, shallow poached. Let it cool in the stock. Now that's a very important thing to do. So let it cool in the stock because it's going to soak up a lot of the liquid into it, okay? What we're going to do now, you can go to the blackboard, show the blackboard. Right. We're going to make an aioli. Aioli is a French style garlic, garlic mayonnaise. Right, we're going to do it fresh with 1 egg, 1 clove of garlic. Now this is what I was telling you yesterday. A lot of recipes in English say 1 clove of garlic. And sometimes when that's translated, 1 clove, meaning the spice, and garlic, is put into the chicken stock, and that will ruin the chicken stock. It really will. Even 1 clove for 6 liters will still have a taste to it. So be very careful about that. So I don't want clove, I really want a garlic. And this is what, in American English, is a garlic clove, which is just 1 piece of garlic, all right? Now I'm adding extra garlic. This is 1 clove. This is what I'm going to be adding. All right. Why? Because I know you and I like garlic. It's as simple as that. The French are considered the garlic eaters of Europe, too. So if you look at this, a clove, 1 egg, 1 clove, some lemon juice, mustard, salt, and all this oil. You really wouldn't taste the garlic if you used 1 clove. Really, I wouldn't at this point, and you guys wouldn't either because of the amount of garlic that you eat. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I always recommend using fresh lemons if you have them. The bottled lemon juice is good. I mean, I've used it. It works quite well, but it does have a different flavor to it. Fresh lemon juice is, once again, very bright. A tablespoon of lemon juice, that's a fair amount too. That's a lot. You'll see, it's going to turn the egg white, and that's why we want the mayonnaise. We're going to add some Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard comes from Dijon, France. Right? What's the difference in that? Whoops. What's the difference in that? There we go. It's usually made with white wine, fine grained mustard. It's a little spicy. Mustard itself, it's one of my favorites, that's for sure. And this is nice. The school got a really nice product there. A little salt, but this I didn't cut down a little, only because the mustard's pretty salty. And a 1/3 cup of oil, but we're going to use olive oil. Olive oil makes a good aioli. And once again, this is classical French food, so it's not really. Pretty expensive. My morning coffee. This is a coffee mix. I like coffee mix. I know a lot of people, oh, I don't drink coffee. I don't know, it's like ice cream, hot ice cream, melted ice cream. Delightful, delightful. Last time we talked a little about whips, so I went around collecting whips in general. Right? This one I call the bechamel whip. All right, it's big, long, it's for a deep pot. You can hit into it. This is a good one. It's a little loose here right now. A little beat up, that's for sure. It's seen its better days, but it's still a good one. A balloon whip. This is for meringues, hollandaise, mayonnaise too. This is a little too flimsy for that type of thing. This is a good all-purpose whip. It's a little thicker tines. These are called tines, T-I-N-E-S. That's not important, but you can see the tines are a little thicker. It has a nice base, right? This, like if you had to buy one for all-purpose, from adding in bechamel to roux to smashing up tomatoes or something, this is a good one. This you'll break, mashing up tomatoes. This is good for really ultra heavy duty use, but it's very thick, the tines. So I wouldn't say making mayonnaise or hollandaise or meringues with that. School issued these. Did you get one of these? Do you have this in your knife kit?
Yes.
Yeah. This is good at school. This is good what we need, that's for sure. The only problem with these, I don't know if yours is like that. See that opening? I don't know if you really can see it. Let's see, try it again. See the barrel, that this part here is opened. All right, see I can stick my finger down in there? That's a bacteria chip. That's a big problem. Because if you're making mayonnaise and hollandaise and stuff, you're going to be splashing egg and oil up there. I boiled this one. This was left over in the kitchen. I put it in boiling water for a while. That's what you have to do. Some students have this, and I have one of these too. These are actually really good for classroom stuff because sometimes we have small amounts. If you're making hollandaise or mayonnaise at school, I mean at work or something like that, you're going to do like 30 eggs, 40 eggs, and you're going to be using larger whips or even a machine at that point. But in school, like I say, if you have this, is fine. Daiso sells these. I've seen these, they're pretty common, they're pretty good. And sometimes I've seen students use these. Real housewife style whip. But these actually are not that bad. They look goofy, they look silly. But because you can get them in flat. Once again, in class, so if you buy one of these, that's fine too. I won't laugh at you, that's for sure. One of these is a smaller whip because sometimes at school we're making really small amounts. And these do work quite well. They really do. Okay, let's move on. I cleaned the garlic already. Now a lot of restaurants I worked at, we take this, we save it and throw it in the mirepoix bucket, the sachet de spice bucket. A lot of places do that because once again, here's a small amount, but if you clean a kilo of garlic, 10% of it is going to go into the garbage can or into your stocks. Now in French style, let me show you French style garlic. You flatten it, bring the cutting board to the edge, roughly chop it, taking your thumb here, right, thumb here, and this, and holding this part of the knife, you make a paste out of it. We call this French chopped garlic because once again in Korea you guys will take one of these, right, and eat it, right, no problem, little doenjang goop. Westerners just don't do it. So in classical French cooking we never serve a big piece of garlic, so we would smash it down to a nice paste. When you get it down to this point, you can add a little salt and really make it into a paste. Just remember that it's going to be salty garlic, so when you season your food, you have to remember that. See how fine that is? Once again, in Korea, you don't really, garlic is not a problem. Big pieces of garlic are not a problem. So we're going to just finely chop. I prefer large garlic personally myself, and I think you guys do too. It's interesting how much It's interesting how much garlic you guys will eat. I find it incredible amount when I first got here, and I like garlic. For a Westerner, I've always liked garlic. But when I got here, I was just so surprised that we got like Sam Gupselchip and this young pa and model gochu just sitting in a dish. And I'm sort of like, gee, what do you do with this? And like, oh, you can cook it, or you can eat it. Like, really? And sometimes it's really hot, so it's interesting. Interesting different cultures. So the recipe doesn't show a little parsley. I'm going to put a little parsley in the aioli because I think, first of all, for flavor, and second of all, it gets a nice brightness to it too. Now, when you're at work, you get a part-time job, and the chef says, "Oh, cut up some garlic," or something like that, and you do this. Focus down, right? Put your finger here, and you get this rocking motion. It makes a nice fine dice. Plus, it looks impressive. Yeah, they go, "Oh, monsieur, you seem to do so good." I worked with a lot of French chefs. They're funny. They're difficult, that's for sure. It's a lot of garlic, but that's okay. We like garlic. A little fresh parsley. Once again, what would you do with this in the kitchen? Sachet the spice bucket. Rarely do you throw things out in the kitchen. You only throw them out when they're too old or they're rotten. Everything has a second purpose. Now, in my class, which I think most of you guys know by now, I don't really chop the herbs very fine. Just lightly pass through it. You can't. Once again, this is the problem about online classes: is that you really can't smell these two smells, and now are coming out and hitting me, and it's actually making me hungry. I even eat breakfast, but the smell of garlic and the smell of parsley to me is a very, very attractive smell. That's for sure. Let me get a paper cup. Because all we're going to need is the egg yolk. These are relatively, well, this is a good medium-sized egg. In Korea too, you get a lot of large and small ones and things like that. In America, you get large ones. So when you see, this is a medium egg. This is a recipe from America, and it means a large egg. So a large egg is just a little bigger than that, but it does make a difference, right? So I should have brought 2 cups. So what I need is just the yolk. It's a nice fresh egg. That's a nice fresh egg, folks. That's a nice fresh egg. Now, separating eggs is another thing. Separating one egg is easy. Separating 30, that's quite a job, that's for sure. Some chefs put this in the chicken stock. They say it makes it clearer. I don't know. That's like a myth. So, egg whites. What would you do with egg whites in a kitchen? Now, obviously, we don't need them here, but in a hot kitchen, consommes, meringues, in the bakery, a lot of things, an awful lot of things in the bakery, that's for sure. We don't need it today, but once again, I want you guys to understand, a lot of this is not garbage. Even though in school we end up throwing things out, never in a kitchen to throw anything out without to say, do you need this? Do you want this? Obviously, if it's onion skins, but I work with a chef who uses onion skins in the brown stock, so it could be that. Okay, what I'm going to do is get my lemon. Make sure you take out the seeds. Get that ready. Let me get a little water. Even though it's not in the recipe, this does make it a little easier. And if the oil gets too thick, you can add a little water too. I think I'll use the student style whip. Now this is going to be a little difficult, I guess. What I did here is take a towel, wet it, and put it in here to hold it. If you don't, you got this. You know, here, forget about it. You'd be chasing it around. Here, it'll rock and roll a lot. And if you're doing hollandaise too, you have hot water in the bottom here. It's like a bain-marie. So it works out quite well. Can you see that? Okay. Now this is, like I said, a small amount. That's why I say a small whip is not a bad thing. I'm going to add a little water in the beginning, just to make sure that everything goes quite well with that. A couple of drops of lemon juice. The acid helps. Mix that well. Now when you're starting to make mayonnaise and hollandaise is the same thing, up to the face. Mayonnaise and hollandaise are the same principle. You're making an emulsion. So when you start adding your oil or your butter, you cannot stop. You have to keep going until it's done. So we have our ingredients, our mise en place all ready. Right? I got my salt, my pepper, it's open, and my oil. All right. So what you do at the beginning is a very, very little amount. Drops. Now just imagine doing this with 30 eggs by hand. It's a lot of stirring. At this point now you really can't stop. You just keep going. And it gets tiresome, it does. Many places used to use, we don't really do fresh mayonnaise that much anymore in America because it's raw uncooked eggs. And some people have a problem with that. Salmonella, E. coli, there are issues, that's for sure. This egg is very fresh, so I'm very confident about it. Halfway through there, I can tell by looking at it. If you get closer to it, can you zoom in on it? Can you zoom in on this? Right. You can see how it ribbons. So it's ribbon because I can leave a trail. It means it's successful. It worked. Sometimes they break. It's not a guaranteed 100% thing. So that's why I keep water around too. If it starts to look a little funny, and I'll get to the halfway point. Because we'll add a third of a cup of oil. Basically, end up with 1 cup with all the ingredients inside. So at this point now, I'm going to add some more more lemon juice. What does the recipe say? Yeah, a tablespoon. So yeah, that's a fair amount. Make sure you get the seeds out. Now it won't be as white as, like, say, Otugi mayonnaise, which you're kind of very familiar with. It's not going to be that white, but it's going to be a yellowish color. And the lemon juice does make it turn a little whiter than egg yolk. I like a lemony mayonnaise, personally. I really like that. And the lemon itself kind of cooks the eggs. It kills bacteria, the acid, things like that. So I mean, there's a lot of pluses in lemon juice. Now I'm going to just finish it off. Once you got an emulsion, you can add the oil a lot faster. There we go. You see how thick it is now? It's a nice mayonnaise. That's about a little more oil. Maybe we'll do this in class. Yeah, we will. Bring your whips, I tell you, and work out. I tell you, right now I feel it in my arms. Like I said, I haven't whipped up a mayonnaise in a long time. You can feel it in your arm. This is a small whip. Try something like this for 20 minutes on 30 eggs. You build some muscles there. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice mayonnaise. That's a real nice mayonnaise. Now I'm going to add the garlic, which once again I said, this is a lot of garlic. This may be a little too much, to be honest with you, but why not? Why not? Mix that in. We'll put the mustard in first. Like I said, the mustard itself is they're all a little different. It could be pretty salty itself. Mustard comes from Scandinavia. Norway, Sweden, Denmark. That's where mustard seeds originally grow from. Oh yeah. It's a little salty, but not that much. We'll need to add some salt. Okay. Oh, that's nice. That's garlicky, that's for sure. A little salt and pepper, which is pretty standard. The garlic. The garlic. A little white pepper is always nice. Now this would be better, excuse me, the pepper. This would be better tomorrow. Let it sit overnight in the refrigerator, the garlic flavor, all the essences come out, it's real nice. You could add white wine to this. This is a very basic recipe, very simple recipe, but there's a lot of variations of it, and even I'm changing it by adding some parsley to it, because I think it just gives a lot of zest and color to it. A lot more garlic. I like white wine in mine too, so, and a little extra lemon. Okay, there we go. Oh, c'est bon. C'est bon means it's good. Oh, it's good. It's garlicky already. Wow. Okay. Let's just put away our whips. Got lessons in whips. Okay, and we're going to move on to our galantine now. The unveiling. Did it work? Sometimes the galantine split. I've seen that. I don't think that's going to be an issue today. That's why it's very important when cooking. When cooking galantines or poaching anything is a low, moderate temperature. No hard boiling. Hard boiling will cause it to split open, and that's not a good thing. Well, as far as I know, we're going to have class third week. That's what, the school hasn't made anything official yet. Hopefully, the virus numbers have been dropping, so that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Let me get a plate. How beautiful YSU plates. It's hard to do good cuisine on plastic plates. You know, it just doesn't look right, but it's okay. I'm happy. All right. Got some parsley for garnish. I would like to put sanchu, lettuce down there, but we don't have any, so it's okay. Now this stock can be reused for galantines only, but only twice. You would use it first originally, and the second. After that, you should get rid of it. That's for sure. Look at our little sausaging, right here, it's like a cigar. All right. It's nice and round. A little curve to it, but that happens. Once again, this is a handmade product, so it's not going to be absolutely perfect. Not too much bad binding. The tying is very critical in that aspect. You see there's little lines in there, right? You can see those little lines. That's not so bad. That's when it cooked, it swells up. And then it stays in that position. And so the ends are usually garnished anyway. You don't not much you do at the ends. See what it looks like then. Oh, they're very nice. That's what it tastes like. Very nice. Pretty little more salt. Yeah, that's okay. Once again, when I made it and I tested the quenelle, I did the quenelle, I tested it, I tasted it, I go, oh, a little salty. Remember that yesterday? A little jata, the test. Okay. And then I said, well, you serve it cold, it should be saltier. And I taste it now, it's a little shingupta. But that's okay too, because we got a nice mayonnaise yogurt. These can be reused, but they have to be washed very well and boiled. So we're going to save that for the boiling time. Let's see what we got. Oh, it looks real nice. Let's prepare our bed. Like I said, I would prefer sanchu on the bottom. Once again, like I said, parsley stems, you know, even though it's not that expensive, it's still money, and they're great for stocks. So I don't want you guys to think that you throw everything out in the kitchen. I really don't. I'm trying to think plate design. Yes, mayonnaise there. On there, mayonnaise there. I think I'm like that. Okay. I wish we had little ramekins. Well, we have something, but not very pretty. Well, better than nothing, I guess. For the mayonnaise. Nice mayonnaise. Oh, it's really nice. Really garlicky. It's really bumpy. I would definitely be, I'd be careful to serve that to my brothers. When I first came to Korea, I went back and I cooked Korean food for my brothers in New York. It killed them. It was too spicy, too garlicky, too much onions. And I really thought I was making it light. Okay, let's cut it in half. And here we go. Let's take a close look at it. You can see the ham garnish and the chicken. We didn't get an olive yet, but we'll find one. I don't know. I like double O bacon size. Oh, that's pretty. That's a pretty one. Right there. That's very nice. That's very nice. Now I know you guys, meaning Koreans, you guys really don't eat cold chicken. Even like cold fried chicken, we eat quite lunch type of thing, especially during summertime. So I know you guys generally don't like this per se. You can put it on you guys have put it on a fry pan and cooked it up. From this side. Generally an appetizer, chicken galantine. Oh, monsieur. C'est bon. C'est bon. I get the drops off the there, a little over there. So, from a chicken to this, it's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of preparation, but it's not. Once again, it's not impossible. Meaning difficult. I've had other, because most of you guys are kind of freshmen, aren't you? Are you a freshman? Freshman, first year.
Yeah. First.
Yeah, second year.
Second.
Yeah, so this is a little high end for a second year.
Yeah.
You think you could do it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think all you guys can do it. Trust me. The key point is in the beginning is to take your time, getting the skin off whole. After that is you can fix any problem. You know what I mean? But you cannot fix the hole. You know, so I want you guys to be careful about that. If there's any questions, obviously you can always get in touch with me. Hopefully we're going to see you in the third week. I feel very confident. The numbers are dropping, so we should be able to get together. Thank you very much, and hit it.